thank you for coming into the Meow Me Vice meeting here. We, myself, Detective Jimmy D, and Detective Guillermond here.
Guillermond.
We've been receiving some inquiries from concerned citizens about the two of you, and we just had to set up this meeting to investigate and ask you a few questions, if you don't mind.
I love it. You know, I have to say to people that this is the second time, our second take doing this, because we failed to start a recording the first time. And I just to bring that up because some of this otherwise is going to look, our reactions are going to look real strange if people don't understand that we tried this once already. So,
exactly.
Yeah, and quite a bit. We went through like a half an hour. So,
right.
So hi everybody at KACon. I know I said that before. Hi everybody. I'm glad you're there, and I'm glad I'm there too. Presumably, hi to me.
Oh, that's the same joke too.
Yeah, but I told it better this time.
Sometimes some things are better twice. So,
Yeah.
Okay, so we got some questions for you, and first one's coming from Chevron and Argyle. Knowing everything you know now, would you have started KA the way you did, and like the live streams, inviting us into your home, keeping us updated with the activity, mailbag, etc.?
Sure. Yeah. I do think, and I know I won't give as good an answer as I did the first time, but I do think that we would do everything the same. There's not anything that we would want to change. I think that you know, there's certainly, it's been a change in our lifestyle to get to the point where we are, but it's all worth it because it helps us get the kittens adopted, and the community that's grown out of it helps us get the kittens adopted in a way that matters a lot to us. You know, I don't know that we'd be able to do this at all if we didn't have the community that was able to keep us in touch with the kittens after they're adopted. I think that's super important to us. And also there's kittens running around this room right now like mad, and one of them has just climbed to the raindrop, has climbed to the top of the curtain. So we'll probably have to get up a couple times during this interview to move things and grab kittens.
Whoa. Actually, yeah, maybe you need to help her first.
Oh, well, he was just, all right. She was just about to climb all the way back down, and she looked like she had it managed.
Yeah.
But I got her nonetheless. So, okay.
Gotcha. Okay, and we got another question.
Where were we?
Oh, we got a question from Fancy Pants McDoodle asking, you give us so much. If there was one thing you could ask us to do or stop doing to make your life easier, what would that be?
Okay, and again, I don't want to give any of these answers, you know, shorter answers, just because, you know, we've tried to answer them once already. But I think that obviously the obvious answer to what you guys can always sort of do for us if you really want to do something is food and litter are things that are always useful. You know, we do the NULO chicken and turkey food right now.
Wait, this is the answer to the other question.
Wait, what? I'm on the wrong question?
Yes.
What did I do?
This is the answer to the other question that's going to come up because you can see the future. But
hi, buddy. Hi. Okay, he's right on that microphone too. How did I lose the thread there?
No, this was basically if you need help.
If there's one thing you could ask us to do or stop doing.
Oh, yeah. And we came up with nothing, I think, the first time. We were like, no, there's not anything.
Oh, okay. Well, okay, maybe I am jumping a question here. I'll just stick with my answer of if you want to send food, that's great. If you want to send other stuff, you know, keep it about the kittens. That's what we like. We love all the endowment stuff. Now, let's see, was I a question ahead?
Sorry.
Oh, no, that's fine. That sounds good. Richard is asking, DJ, when you lick kittens, do they taste different from one another? Do cats taste different from kittens?
I'm going to give the same answer I did the last time. I think the kittens, they smell better. So I think smell and taste kind of are linked. So kittens smell kind of sweet. I always say that they smell like, what do I say? Milk and cookies. I don't know why. But they kind of smell like cookies when they're clean, like not poopy, when they're past the poopy phase. And then and when you just smell their head and you accidentally lick their heads. Like I'm just snuggling and sniffing, so it's not an intentional licking, it's always accidental. I'd like to point that out.
That's great. That's great. D Kid's mom is asking, will KA design and build their next house?
Oh boy, designing and building a house is, I think, way more than we would ever be up for. I'm not an architect, and that's a lot. But I do think that there's a lot of things that we would do to a house. I've always wanted to just go full, like crazy cat guy, have one of those houses that's basically built into a giant cat run with little tunnels and bridges and passageways and things for the cats everywhere. And I would love to do that. The only thing that's holding me back is not knowing if we're going to sell this house in a couple of years. I assume that we are. But then my hope would be when we do that, that the next house we get is one where I can feel like we're really settled into and I can just go nuts. So
Gotcha.
we wouldn't design the whole house, but we would definitely hack it a lot.
Gotcha. We've got a question from Anonymous now. To follow up, will KA allow Discorders to design and build their next house?
I'd say yeah, let's do it. Let's put a poll on Discord and yeah, I think that's a great idea. What could possibly go wrong?
What could possibly go wrong? I think that's the important question.
Yeah.
Right. Alto clarinet lady is curious. What are some practical things that you might like to get in mailbag that people don't often send? And I think that's kind of what you were talking about before.
That is, yeah. I guess I jumped ahead to this question. I sort of made them the same in my head.
He just predicted this question somehow.
I did. I'm psychic. It turns out. Who knew? Not me. So yeah, okay. So to answer the question, obviously, food and litter are practical that we can always use. I'm sure I just said that, and I think it's nice that people do that and send that for us. It's something that is always useful. So and we go through a lot of it. Where these guys eat just more than I can possibly explain. Science can't even explain it. How much they eat. So lots of that, lots of litter. Those are always going to be useful. And then when it comes to cat toys and endowments and stuff, go wild. Whatever. I think it's all fun to send people home with a ton of stuff, and I know they really appreciate it. The one thing that I guess that we sort of try to discourage is sending stuff that's for DJ and I. We've got everything that we need in our lives, so we like to try to keep it about the cats and the kittens. And they always need more.
That sounds good. Thanks for that. And Dana Bronx Crew from our New York Meow Vice syndicate is asking if ever offered an opportunity to bring KA to cable TV, like let's say like Jackson Galaxy, would you do that?
Wow, that's a tough one. I feel like I would want to do it, but I also feel like I should be more afraid of that as a prospect. It's a lot like Spatula. I sometimes am not as afraid of things as I should be. God. And I recognize that TJ's going to break up a little kitten play and fight here.
This is a little dangerous, kids.
There's a hanging cord for the curtain there that she's got to fix up. So, anyway, for doing like a real cable show out of Kitten Academy, I think I would be willing to give it a try just because of the exposure it would grant. But I also feel like you should take that with a big grain of salt, because I do recognize what a life-changing decision being on, international TV is compared to even doing a fairly popular YouTube thing. It's a huge change and potentially problematic. So I don't know. It's a fancy way of saying I don't know.
Gotcha. I would love to see the real Meow Lives of KA someday, maybe.
Yeah, there you go. The real Meow Lives. That almost works. It's kind of a stretch.
I tried. We got an anonymous question here. Do you ever wish that more of your house was private and not on camera? It seems like you have so few places in such a big house that aren't potentially being broadcast to the world.
Not really. We've gotten so used to it that it's just a lifestyle for us at this point. It's just how we live, and we are pretty used to it. That said, though, there's certainly we've got the camera now that's in the spa in the master bedroom, and it's been wonderful for us to have that there because it means that we can have the kittens in the spa overnight, and we don't have to worry so much about not having any kittens on the stream. Although I know that still happens, it happens less frequently when you've got the camera right there. On the other hand, it does cause some extra concern for us, as far as walking around. We've always got to be asking ourselves, oh, is that camera on the stream or not? And just to be able to avoid that question and just, run around the bedroom at will would be nice, I guess. But, it's a balance.
Gotcha. Sounds good. That makes sense. And we have another anonymous question. What part of having more privacy do you miss the most? The ability to keep secrets from each other, maybe not having your actions judged by others, or taking off the day and slouching and lazing?
I think DJ would say we do a fair amount of that anyway.
That's what I said. Yeah.
I can say that she would say that because she did say that. No, we have gotten really used to this as a lifestyle, and I don't think that there's too many times that we run up against it as a problem for us or something that we would need and want to change as such. Although it is nice to be able to turn off the sound once in a while and just have a conversation about the kind of things that we try to avoid on the regular stream. There's a lot of things that YouTube would allow that wouldn't be a copyright strike or illegal or problematic for YouTube, but still that we wouldn't talk about on the live stream, especially stuff like politics or current events. A lot of the times, we try to just kind of pretend like that world doesn't necessarily exist at the Academy. But it definitely still exists. We live in it, for better or for worse. So it is nice to be able to shut off the sound once in a while, just have a conversation and not worry about whether the cameras are going to pick it up. Right. But in general, I think that we're real used to living this way, and we love it.
That sounds good. Great answer. Great answer. And anonymous question. DJ, how's your fellowship going, and what's the most interesting thing you've learned since it started?
Fellowship is going great. So right now I guess tomorrow will be my first day as a second-year fellow. So I just finished my first year of fellowship. Yay.
Congratulations.
Yay. Right. The hard part is over. As far as the most interesting thing, I think it would be things that are maybe a little too specific to what I do. So I don't know what I can give as an example. Nothing comes
would be
to
interesting
mind.
to the layman.
Yeah. It's, I think every day you kind of you still learn something about people that's kind of cool, or you also discover that you still don't like people as much and you prefer cats. That happens a lot too. But yeah, I'm excited that I don't have that I have the hardest part of it behind me now.
Yeah, because a lot like your residency, this first year is really when they put you through the ringer, and now the next couple of years might be a little bit easier.
A little bit easier.
Great. Sounds good. And Fancy Pants McDoodle is curious. DJ, have you ever walked up into the pediatric ward and squealed "Tinies"?
No, I don't really work with babies or children, but yeah, I think if I saw little babies, I'd probably say that because they do remind me of kittens.
They don't let her around the pediatric ward anymore since she won't be quiet. She keeps waking them up by yelling.
Yeah.
And we got a great question here from Megalina. What's the most ridiculous thing any faculty member has done at the Academy?
You want to say this?
Do you want me to tell the story this time? Because you told it so well last time.
I told it so. Okay.
She did such a great job, you guys. You would never believe what a great job.
Okay, I'm going to try again. The reason this cat is up here, this was a prop, so I'm going to use it again. So the most ridiculous thing that happened recently is that Logan Berry peed on me. So this is something that you never think will happen to you. It's traumatizing. Okay, I'm dramatizing it this time, but so he basically, I was sitting on the chair in the sunroom, and I had a blanket over me, and Logan Berry was coming up to kind of snuggle. But then he was also picking at the blanket the way, cats dig in the litter box before they pee. So I was a little bit suspicious, but, I had my sense of security that,
He's not going to just pee on you.
Your cats are never just gonna pee right on you. The only part that was exposed that I wasn't, under the blanket was my face. I was like, no, he's never gonna, actually pee on me. But then he got, he finished his little digging and I thought he was gonna settle down. Instead, he was like right here, I'm sitting here, and he like lifted his tail up and everything, and the stream was going to start coming straight at my face, and he did start peeing. I didn't even, I didn't think it was gonna happen, even though I was sort of ready for it because it was
like,
one of the
he's never
things,
gonna pee on me.
right.
Yeah.
And then he did. It started happening. So I kind of yelled because I was surprised and shocked. And so he stopped and he jumped off. And then, but yeah, that was really ridiculous and unexpected.
Did it get on you or just on the blanket?
It got a little bit on my shirt.
Oh,
it didn't get on my face.
Okay, good.
I think I kind of, it's almost like when, you know how people say when they get shot at, they raise their hand?
No,
Okay.
Okay, that's a thing, huh?
I think
this
that's
might be that interesting thing that you've learned.
yeah, that might be what I've learned. But so yeah, I tried to stop it with my hand, I think. So I think I got some on my hand.
don't think that pee is going to pass through your hand the same way a bullet might.
Yeah, so that's good. That was a good thing.
Sure.
And yeah, it wasn't too much pee that got on the chair. I was in the way, so so it just got on me.
She's super absorbent like that.
But yeah, it's changed everything that I know about cats now.
You really see things in a different light.
Yeah. It's changed things forever.
That's
the most
ridiculous. Yeah, that absolutely ridiculous. Thanks for that. Yarrow is asking, what is the answer to this question? And I think he's referencing the most ridiculous.
Yeah, it's hard to take us by surprise with that one a second time, but nice try.
Exactly.
What is the answer to this question?
Oh, right. Yeah.
And Anonymous is asking, do you plan to put up more Catastrophic Creations PlayStations at the Academy? And if so, where?
Oh, yeah. No, that's a great question. It kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier, where there's so much more I would do if I thought we were going to stay in this house longer. But with the looming possibility of moving, I've been trying to sort of limit what I do a little bit, not to do anything too major. But that said, I have thought about putting up another rug wall in the den where these kittens have been spending so much of their time on those cat trees in there. And I may do that. And it may or may not be Catastrophic Creations as well. We do still have a lot of the pieces that they sent us at a steep discount, which was very nice of them. But the most recent wall we put together out of random things from other providers. So it's good either way. So yeah, I might do one in the den, but we definitely can't do it as extensively as I would like to.
Gotcha. Sounds good. And another anonymous question, does DJ's family in India watch the live stream, or how about Mr. A's family?
Sure. Well, I can answer first and say that my mom definitely watches. She talks to me about it all the time, and I know that she uses it as a way to sort of check in on me and make sure I'm doing okay. She'll watch Mailbag and she'll watch the close-ups, and she'll comment once in a while on whether she thinks I'm doing okay based on those. So I know she uses that. Also, the thing about my mom is that she is wild about the Facebook fan group, not the official Kitten Academy page. There's an unofficial fan group that she is so grateful for. She never misses a chance to tell me how much she appreciates them getting the news out for people who aren't on Discord. Because although I have invited my mom to the Discord, she probably spent about a week there. I think her account's still on the Discord, but she doesn't go there anymore. She's afraid of being too much of a helicopter mom. Ever since T-ball, she thinks maybe she should let me fly on my own a little bit.
What's T-ball?
It's a sport that kids play. It's like baseball for little kids.
Okay.
Sorry. Anyway, whatever. So DJ, your family, do they watch?
No, they don't really watch. They don't really. I don't think they get the idea of Kitten Academy and fostering and all of that. They understand that I do it, but they don't really, I don't think they don't get the joy of animals.
Is it animals altogether, or would they understand better if it were dogs?
No, I don't think they would understand better even if it were dogs.
Okay.
They
Well,
just
yeah, that's
aren't
fine.
animals.
Do you think that
people.
that's your family that's that way in India, or do you think that's pretty common to people that are in your area of India just
Cultural thing.
generally?
Yeah, I think it's generally the way, because animals,
They're working
they're not,
animals
yeah,
that
they're
we
not
saw
in the
there.
house, so they just don't get the concept of pets.
Right.
Yeah.
But people have in your neighborhood that's full of goats and oxen and stuff that are all like working animals that are there for a reason.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I guess that attitude makes sense.
Gotcha. And that's a good segue into the next question from an anonymous submitter. What other animal would you consider fostering if cats were not the option?
Well, yeah, that's a great question. I do think about it quite a bit because, I love animals and I grew up with a lot of animals. My mom was a great influence that way and always had tons of different kinds of animals around. I think the obvious answer is a dog. Dog takes a lot of time, though. Oh, and I should, recalling the first time I answered this question, fostering another type of animal is something that maybe we wouldn't do.
Yeah.
Just because we've got a certain amount of experience and knowledge in fostering cats, and I think that that's valuable, for us to do that way. But if we were to foster, say, dogs, it would be sort of starting over in a lot of ways, and I don't think that would be as good at it. Plus, the amount of time it takes up. I mean, we are all in on the cat fostering, so we don't have time for that. But if I could, if we had our wishes, dogs would be an obvious choice. And I think I had said and would say again, if I really could do anything, I miss having guinea pigs around. We had a lot of guinea pigs when I was a kid. I love them, but
Right.
And I love the little noises that they make.
Yep.
But I feel like I can't responsibly have them with this many cats because A, I wouldn't have time, and B, I think that cats would probably traumatize them a bit.
Yeah, right. Maybe in the next life, Guinea Pig Academy then.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Gotcha. And another anonymous question. Would you have chosen to stay in Illinois if that were an option still?
Yeah, maybe.
Yes.
I don't
If
know if
that
we
were
would
an
have
option,
chosen to
yeah, I
stay.
think
Yeah, I guess we would have.
might have.
We
Yeah.
would have. All I can say for sure is that we've discussed it a little bit, and obviously we haven't decided to do or not do anything, and it's not about making a plan. But we have agreed that we would move back to Illinois if we could. I think we miss a lot of the way it is there. Connecticut's beautiful, but Illinois just really worked for us, I think, in a special way. So.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Another anonymous question kind of ties into that last one. Where do you see yourselves in 5 years, like career-wise, living, still doing Kitten Academy?
Sorry, we had a kitten there just about to
Sneeze.
Yeah, maybe a sneeze.
Sneezing.
That was
Oh.
drizzle. Again, there's a lot of activity happening just off camera.
No worries.
So in 5 years, well, I think it's difficult to see too far beyond 2 years because that's when DJ finishes with her fellowship and actually becomes a full attending doctor. And when that happens, I think it's going to be a big sort of decision point in our lives, or maybe not even a decision for us to make, but just this is where we find out, what the rest of our lives is going to look like. So some of it is, obviously under our control. Some of it's not. Would we stay here in Connecticut? Would we move to Illinois? Do we get a new house? How does it all work? It's hard to see anything past that because a lot of those are out of our control. Some of it's going to depend on where DJ finds a job. Whether they would take her here, or whether they take her someplace there, or someplace else entirely that we haven't considered. So it's hard to see past that. But I think fundamentally, I don't see us changing a lot about our day-to-day life, just maybe finding more time for things like vacations that we haven't had a proper vacation in a long time.
Gotcha. Makes sense. And an anonymous question, if you could rename any faculty member, who would it be and what would their new name be and why?
I don't think we had a good answer to this before, and we probably still don't.
Yeah.
I mean, the fact is that our cats get renamed all the time. DJ names the kittens, and they don't usually even, they all have nicknames that are more common by the time they leave 3 months later. So, as far as the faculty goes, the names that they have that we call them now are the names that we've changed them to. Aries is now Ari. He's not even the best example, though, because he's been Ari most of his life. But,
Yeah.
DJ still calls Eddie Tunky most of the time, and I can't even tell you why. But,
I can't either.
when cats get new names, we just use them. We can change them at any time and often do,
Hi,
I guess.
boogers.
Fair enough. And do either of you have any plans to visit family in the next year or so?
We don't have any plans on paper yet. I know we would both really like to in the next year even. I think DJ would like to get a chance to go back to India, and I definitely would like to go see my mom. It's a question of finding the right way to do it in the right time to do it, which we haven't done yet, so.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Another anonymous question. A lot of questions coming from this anonymous person. In the past, you've mentioned how your house stands out at night with all the lights. Have any of your neighbors ever mentioned anything about all the cats in the windows? Wondered about the amount of deliveries and trash, recycling, etc. And do they even realize that they live next to internet celebrities?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think they just sort of judge us silently. Honestly, we don't communicate much with our neighbors. Not that we don't like them; they're lovely people. One of them stopped by to drop off a piece of mail the other day, and we had a little chat, and they're very nice.
Do people talk to neighbors?
I think some people still do. I think it's less common though than it used to be when we were kids.
Right.
Anyway. I don't think that if any of them know, they've never given any indication that they understand what's happening here. But it still is the fact that if you come into our neighborhood at night, our neighborhood, we don't have street lights or anything out here. It is pitch black. People don't have lights on in their house in the evening for some reason.
They do.
Or they do, and their curtains are all drawn or something. You just can't see them.
Right.
And then at the very end of the street, here's our house just lit up. I mean, so bright, like a beacon.
It's not like a beacon.
You cannot, a searchlight.
You cannot see it from space. It's not like that.
Actually, we got a letter from the ISS the other day asking, could we please turn it down? They need to do their astronomy.
The source of the KA signal, right?
Yeah. Exactly, right.
And any instances of Mr. A being recognized although seldomly out and about, or DJ while at work?
Not really, no. Not at least not out of context where you would expect to be maybe recognized. Our vet, Dr. Katz, she loves to tell people about Kitten Academy, and sometimes they even put it on and watch it there at the practice. So one time I was in the parking lot waiting for her to look at some cats or kittens or something, and the guy in the car next to me started talking to me. He's like, "Oh, you're the guy from Kitten Academy. My wife loves to watch it. We were thinking about adopting a kitten from you, but we got one from the shelter instead. It's just so great." And it was really cool, having that recognition and having him come up to me and start talking to me like that. But it was surely because of that connection at the vet. So it wasn't just a random sort of thing. I don't think that we've ever really had it happen randomly, although there was one time in a restaurant in Illinois that was pretty cool. It doesn't happen very often. It's been a long time since Illinois. How about you, the hospital? Anybody?
No. And I'm glad that's how it is.
Sounds good. And has the post office asked about all the packages you received?
No, yeah, they haven't, but this post office is way bigger than the one that we went to in Illinois. We were the people in Illinois, there were only a couple people that worked at that post office. It was tiny, they were friendly, and they got to know us almost instantly, and we just loved them. They were almost like characters on the Kitten Academy show. It was so great. But here, we're in a much bigger, it's almost like a hub. They bring stuff in and they sort it, and there's people working in the back that you never even see. It's like a big post office. So it took them a longer, I think, for us to stand out anyway. But that said, they definitely know us a little bit now. A lot of times I'll come in, they'll just see me at the window and they'll be like, "I'll get your stuff." So, they don't even have to ask who I am.
Right.
Every now and then they'll wheel out a cart that says Kitten Academy instead of our post office box on it. So I know they know me a little bit. And there's a couple of them that seem like they're genuinely happy to see me and not just upset about having to lug around so much kitty litter and cat food. But,
Right.
so it's been nice, but it's definitely a different experience.
Okay, sounds good. Fair enough. And Richard's curious, do you get any sleep when the kittens are spending the night in the spa?
Yeah, yeah. I think we're both really good at sleeping through a bunch of noise. DJ especially, you know, India's a loud, noisy place all the time,
What are you talking about?
and she has trouble sleeping unless there's a bunch of noise happening in the first place. So
I haven't been there in 15 years.
okay, well, anyway, we both do a fine job of sleeping through an awful lot of noise, but sometimes it does get to be a bit much. Last night in particular, we had Wellington and Squall in the room, and they were running around like crazy, and there's this banging that comes at the door, and I just assumed it was Custard and Logan because they like to sort of fight at the doors with each other. But I got up to check it out, and it turns out it was Serenity banging to be let into the spa so that she could run around with Wellington and Squall and Teaspoon. And they did. They were, I mean, it's like a herd of elephants, like just galloping back and forth. They had a great time. And again, generally, we can sleep through all that. It's not a problem.
I did sleep through all of that.
It has been a problem a little bit, though, especially Wellington and Squall. They're still so small. They haven't learned what not to do. And so I'll get woken up once in a while where one of them runs over my head with their claws in, you know, because they're trying to, they don't recognize that my head is an obstacle they probably shouldn't just, you know, run on at full speed.
Fair enough.
That'll wake me up. But the sound and stuff, now we sleep through it all.
The poop smells do wake you up.
Yeah,
when
I
there's
guess so.
when there's bad poops.
Yeah, if there's a serious poop, yeah.
The smell seems to penetrate into your sleep.
Yeah, that can get you.
Yeah. Serious poop is a serious business. Yes. And Richard's also curious, would you consider installing motion tracking cameras so that the kittens and cats would always be with you?
Yeah, actually, you know, I'm a huge fan of all this new AI stuff that's been happening, and even before the big AI outbreak, I had been planning on doing some stuff. I've got some kit sort of bundled away that is for doing image recognition and stuff. I think it would be a lot of fun to put together a system for that. The last times that I've looked into actual motion tracking on cameras, it doesn't work well enough for us to use for the Kitten Academy stream. As much as I would love it, if it did work, it would be great. But a lot of times it'll get stuck, you know, it'll follow something into a corner and then not follow it back out. And then you're just watching the corner of the room for hours on end. That's not great. But the AI stuff would be a lot of fun to play with. And then I actually have put a fair amount of work into crowdsourcing this sort of thing too, where already on Discord, the admins have access to sort of the preview of it, where they can go in and change the cameras around on the live stream to whichever one might have action. But future plans would include getting them to be able to move the cameras, or at least move them to presets, and distributing that decision process of not just to the admins, but I think at least to everybody on Discord, where they could sort of vote, and the system would sort of keep track of what camera was getting the most interest and put those up on the live stream. So that's stuff that I've been promising for a long time, and work is proceeding slowly.
Yeah. Sounds good. Sounds good.
Good. Okay.
What is Teaspoon saying?
I don't know. Oh, he's saying, please stop Spatula from biting me. All right. So where were we?
Okay. All right. So Richard had some additional questions here. DJ, how has your medical knowledge helped in raising kittens?
I was saying that I think it just makes me worry more because of the things that I know, maybe. And then when kittens are sick, you know, it's already kind of tense around here. So a lot of times I'll be like, oh, they need fluids, and then Mr.A will just be like, oh, not everything needs fluids. And then I don't know what he is basing that on. I'm basing that on information that I do know that I think is relevant. Anyway, I think I tend to worry a lot more because of everything that I know. And I don't know if it's always warranted. Yeah.
Well, I'll say this for it is, I'm surprised that she doesn't worry less than she used to now that she's got all this medical training. You know, she's always been the one that seems like she would get a little more concerned, and I say distraught about, when kittens are not doing well. So I'm surprised that is not lessened by the fact that she's been to medical school.
No. Because we know, I
Um,
mean, there's so much that is available for like in human medicine that is not.
That's true too.
For-
Yeah,
for
you
cats
have a
and
lot of
kittens.
options for
And-
solutions.
And
Yeah.
cats are smaller, kittens are even smaller. So
Yeah.
there's,
No, that's true too.
Don't fall
I will
off.
say that even if she feels like her medical knowledge doesn't directly inform kitten treatments, she does do a great job of helping to explain things to me. I can be a real dummy when the vet says something to me about how a kitten is doing and I don't understand it. Rather than bother the vet for hours on end, I can just bother DJ, who can't get away from me, and she does a great job of putting up with a lot of that. I mean, just really dumb questions about cat's health and what this means and what that means and
I
all
don't
that
think
kind
there
of
were
stuff.
dumb
So
questions. But
she does think they're dumb.
I love the look that DJ gives you when you ask that, when you say that.
Yeah.
Okay, and Richard actually has a couple more questions here. One of them is that you've done a wonderful job adapting your home for mom cats and kittens. Do you have any more projects in mind?
Oh, more than adopting our home, or more kittens for adapting our, I mean, more projects for adapting
more
our home?
projects.
Yeah. Well, I guess really this goes back to what I was saying before, though. There's an awful lot of stuff I would do if I felt like we were going to live here for longer, and not all of it's limited to stuff that's strictly for the kittens. I always it's hard to just leave a house alone, and I think I'd be like Lady Winchester, wasn't it? The one that she kept building on her house throughout her entire
Winchester
life
House.
and wouldn't stop because she thought if she stopped, the ghosts would catch her or something. I'm going to be like that, except without the ghosts.
Gotcha. Fair enough. Fair enough. Richard is also curious. Do you watch any other cat channels?
Oh, cat channels? No,
No, we don't.
not really. Yeah, part of the problem is that we're real softies when it comes to cats. I know the no sads policy, it's hard to explain, and I can't possibly get into it right now. But that grew out of the fact that it's so hard for us to watch so many other people that are involved in the same sort of scenario. People that are fostering and rescuing cats. It can be very hard to watch because so often they want to tell you a story that involves harm, or at the very least discomfort to some of these cats. And I can't stand that. Even when it's got a happy ending, I just can't deal with it. And even if there are other people out there that have shows that don't fall into that trap,
We're always
we're
worried.
afraid. Yeah, we're always on the edge of our seats watching this stuff. You might be watching something that's like a cat, hopping through the meadow chasing butterflies, and it's wonderful and cute. And most people would probably watch
I'll
that
be
and
like,
think,
no,
this is adorable.
this is not gonna.
DJ will be yelling, "You've got to change the channel now before something."
I don't
bad
watch
happens."
any episodes of TV that have cats or animals. I don't watch movies that show any hint of having animals because they're gonna do this emotional hook thing.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. So yeah, we tend to just avoid it completely because it's hard.
Right.
It's hard to take a lot of times.
Gotcha. Understood. Good answer. Just didn't want to interrupt you, but right as DJ walked by there, the camera cut out. So
Let's see.
DJ
What
broke
happened?
the camera.
Did I do it? Spatula was, I went over there because Spatula was doing something with the cords right there. So
Yeah,
I blame
see. So
Spatula.
You're back.
Spatula killed our video.
Yeah.
you're
All
back.
right. We'll blame Spatula.
Spatula's still working on joining the AV crew, it sounds like. And we're back. Okay. And anonymous person is asking for Mr.A. How does it feel to have 1,000 internet quote unquote wives fussing when your back hurts, etc.? And a little smiley emoji.
I think I missed the end part of that. Fussing when what?
When your back hurts, etc.
Well, yeah, it's probably more than I need. When I say things about how my back is hurting or things like that, it's mostly to excuse myself. And the sympathy can be nice, but I'm always reminded of like when I was a little kid, and you would fall down and skin your knee, as a kid. And you'd be fine until your parents started being like, oh, are you okay? Are you okay? And then you'd start crying, you know?
Yep.
A little bit like that, where, you know, my back hurts and I can deal with it. But then sometimes all day long, people are like, oh, I hope your back's okay. I hope your back's okay. And in my head, I'm just going, now I'm thinking about it, you know? Like, it's sweet, though. I appreciate so much the concern that people have for us. And I really do. I think it's wonderful. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Gotcha. Sounds good. Yeah, it just really kind of shows that the kind of community that you both built, and that so many people care about what you guys do and about your well-being. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and about each other too. It's a great. Everybody's just a wonderful bunch of people.
Absolutely, absolutely. And another question here. We have from Jamestown. What's your favorite class photo shoot / theme that you've ever done?
I don't know if I've done a photo shoot theme that is my favorite, but there have definitely been some photo shoots that I think have been really spectacular and just out of luck, that I would like to come back to that sort of thing once in a while. We did that really dramatic shoot where the kittens are sitting on the brass and glass table.
That's
and
my
they're
favorite.
from beneath. That's
Right.
really cool. And then there's also, I've always liked the one with the colored brick wall background. I've wanted to take that out again and do some more with it. So, you know, it's not the theme so much, though. It's just nice lighting and a decent backdrop and some kittens that get the right poses and it comes together. That's what I like.
Right.
That said, it's also fun to do the Halloween shoots where we try to get costumes on the cats.
Oh, yeah, the costumes are fun.
They always make fun pictures, just silly. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, your photos are fantastic. They're wonderful. And a couple more questions here. Thanks so much for your time here and answering all these questions. From Anonymous, the question is, why are you the way you are? I knew that one was going to come up.
Yeah. I think it has come up in every interview, every Q&A, hasn't it?
I think so.
We should have a better answer to it by now. But
Yeah.
No problem.
Never
And
prepared.
this one is for both of you. It's just another. It's from Anonym All of Us. It says Anonym All of Us.
Nice.
So it's a little hint at the amount of anonymous people asking this question, and it is. And I'm going to type the question. It's a one-word question. I'm going to type it in the chat so you see how it's actually being asked.
I hope I can read the chat from here. Oh, I'm not even sure if we have the chat.
Oh, got it. I will spell it out then. Let's see. I will spell it out then. It's just the question is faculty, but it's spelled FACU.
I can guess. TEA.
Uppercase TEA. Faculty.
Wait, did we go past that question?
I don't remember which. She answered a question about it in the first take.
I mentioned it when
it wasn't that question, but yeah, she brought it up.
I brought it up when the question was about faculty names, and I said how Teaspoon has the best name.
Best name, yeah. You did, yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I guess we're just gonna leave it there, right? Because you're not gonna commit, obviously.
No,
everybody knows where I stand.
Yeah, DJ always wants to adopt every kitty, and I'm sort of the one that has to put a bit of a damper on that.
This is not in every kitty situation.
All right, yeah, but it's hard to tell which ones are and aren't. Yeah.
Well, we know this one.
Anyway, I will say if it comes down to an argument about getting faculty, though, I think DJ is going to have a fist fight with me about whether it's Wellington or Teaspoon. Because Wellington's has been pretty special too.
Gotcha. I mean, if there's a need for if it's an issue of room or anything like that, I can always take over Custard. The Miami Vice Illinois department always has openings for new detectives, and Custard would make a fine detective.
Custard would make a fine detective.
Detective Custard, wow. Yeah, maybe.
Sure.
He could have a tagline like these detective shows have. His tagline would be "The proof's in the pudding, the proof's in the custard." Yeah. I don't know.
That's good.
Okay.
I'm pausing there, leaving a room for the audience to groan.
The applause, the cheers, yes, the bows, yes.
Yeah.
Standing ovation.
Right. Well, wonderful. Thank you so much. Here at the Miami Vice Department, our squad is satisfied with this interrogation and these questions from our concerned citizens. And yeah, I think everything is copacetic here and sounds great. And I appreciate you taking time out of your day to answer some of these questions.
Thanks so much, Jimmy. I really appreciate it. By the way, that is a great shirt.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we wear at the Vice Squad. Thanks.
Yeah.
Nice.
So is anyone going to be taken into custody?
Oh, that is how it's done. That is
Thank you,
how
thank
it's
you.
done. Very
You better
good.
leave a lot of room for this one.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And yeah, I hope everybody's having a wonderful KA Con and cheers.
Hope so too.
Enjoy.
All right.